Hello, I'm Michael Tynan from Tynan Motors and the Michael Tynan Memorial Challenge. We have Luke Lewis with us today. Welcome, Luke.
G'day, Matt. It's good to be here.
Thanks so much. I just want to take you back to 2012.
Oof.
Now, I know that was an extremely difficult year for you. Can you run us through it? You were the captain of Penrith, and then what happened?
Yeah, a little bit of some stuff was going on at Penrith. Obviously, we had a whole lot of change of coaching staff and a little bit of a different direction that the club wanted to go in. And for me, I was captain at the time. I just finished playing Origin and actually played a game of footy against the West Tigers out at Campbelltown. Copped a knock in my neck, and I couldn't move my neck. And anyway, long story short, sort of had to go get a couple of scans and got put into a CT scan. Usually we get put in for an X-ray or an MRI, and we couldn't get in, so I went for a CT, and they found a little bit of a lump on my thyroid, which they said they had to get checked. So I ended up getting a biopsy, got sent away, and then found out a few days later that it was thyroid cancer. And then from there, it was sort of just the rest of the 2012 was sort of chasing my tail. Didn't believe it was really happening to me, so for me it was just every day as normal. But for the family and friends and everyone was sort of a bit stressed about what was happening. But it's something that, it happened. I got a lot of experience from it and very thankful and very grateful for the people that were in my life at the time to get me through what happened, and obviously the surgeons who got in, got out. And from there it was sort of, did it feel like nothing really happened. It was just weird. And then I just kept focusing on what had happened next, and that was basically try and get fit and get back on the park for my first season at the Cronulla Sharks. I do believe everything happens for a reason, and this is one of those times I had to go through heartache to understand and appreciate the good times.
How did you find it mentally though? Because the C word is so scary as it is anyway. So when you have been diagnosed, when your whole life has been about discipline and looking after your body to make sure you can make the next football game, how did you deal with that? Because that in itself is extremely difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, so for me, like I said, when I actually got told, I just sort of went, "No, I think you've got the wrong person." So I just sort of treated it like that. But I knew I had to ring up a few people to let them know straight away. When I watched my wife Sonia start crying, and obviously my mum, that sort of went, "Oh, hang on," that hit home a little bit.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
for me, it was just, okay, it is what it is. I've got to do what I've got to do and get through it. And like I said, lucky I had some really good people that got me in and out and pretty quickly. And it was just weird. The thing that I found was a lot of drive is that a lot of people said that you won't be able to do things.
No.
Like you won't be able to get back to full fitness. You won't be able to do X, Y, Z on the footy field or on the training park. For me, it was motivation. I found it as a challenge. So I just sort of went, okay, well, I'm going to go do that because I got told I can't do that.
And how did your gut health go then? Because that's so important when you have had cancer and you are on medication, right? So how do you go with your gut health knowing like you have to look after that?
Yeah, it was, for me again, I didn't treat it, I treated it totally like it wasn't me again. That's just the way that I treated everything. I thought they've just got the wrong name and I'm just going to have to go through it because they've got the wrong name. Yeah, look, I had to take medication. I was just getting used to every morning getting up, making sure I was having medication, not eating for an hour and a half after I take the medication because you let it absorb.
And never missing it.
And never missing it, and still to today, I've still got to take it. But for me, I just tried to eat as clean as possible, but at the same time, try to enjoy food that I do enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. So you finished up there, and then your career changed again, and luckily enough, we got you over to Cronulla Sharks, and that's where our bond became quite strong. It threw me a bit when you also then said your beautiful wife Sonia, who we adore, also got sick with cancer.
My wife's Italian, so she's got that olive skin. She ended up getting a skin cancer, which was right on the top of her forehead. And it was just a gut feeling. It was one of those things that she never really had any sort of cancer in the family. I never expected to be cancer, but she had this gut feeling something on her forehead wasn't right. So she went and got a couple of checkups. Now the first couple of checkups, they said no, everything's fine. It's not cancer. Then we went to a plastic surgeon who said, yeah, I can definitely get rid of it, but we'll have a look at it, and found out that it was cancer. So lucky we went and seen her. She just had this gut feeling that the first two people that went and seen were wrong.
Yeah.
So she said she's going to go get a third opinion. Went and got it. Luckily she did, otherwise she probably wouldn't be today.
And then you met us.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember being asked at Cronulla Sharks if we could help you out and everything like that. And I'm going, oh, who's Luke Lewis? You know, okay, yep, rightio, I know who he is. And then we met you and you became part of our family, like we do these Tynan people. We bring you in and you are part of our family. And you went through everything with us when we lost our dad, and understanding your understanding of cancer, you could actually give a lot of solace to our family, and especially my young Nicholas, which I'll never forget. So those sort of things are really important, that when we look at an ambassador, we looked strong and hard, because, you know, things can go wrong, as your ambassadors can. But when we chose you for all the right reasons, to be the person that stands up there and represents us in the community for the Michael Tynan Challenge, because if you would have met him, he too said he didn't like to talk about it. He didn't like people actually to, even his really good friends, etc., he didn't want them to visit him, because he used to say, all they do is tell me about what's wrong with them. Yeah. And you understand that his life was all about giving back to the community, and that's what you do. You know, I see it through everything that you, not just the ambassador for us, but you're an ambassador for a few different things that are all wonderful causes that, and they're all involving medical research as well. You know, we're doing cancer research, we're doing gut research, we're doing newborn baby, you know, mothers that are pregnant, so that we look at how the blood pressure and everything affects them. When we asked you, could you jump on board with us, what made you say yes to that?
To have someone like Michael to do what he's done in the community, for me, is mind-blowing, purely because if we didn't have the support base around what I used to do for a living, which is rugby league, we wouldn't be who we are today anyway. So for me, giving back, absolutely massive. So I loved everything about the Tynan family and about giving back to the community. I think it's absolutely spot on. I think a lot of other businesses need to take a bit of a leaf out of your book. But again, just the love, family love, but at the same time, mateship. It's not all about taking, it's all about giving, receiving, and also, you know, doing it for the right reason. So that's, for me, I was absolutely stoked to be able to come on board. But again, to do all this kind of research and get involved with Wollongong University, understanding what they're doing down there, doing the research for gut health, obesity, also doing they're doing the research for dementia. Obviously, for myself, playing rugby league, there's been a lot of head knocks. They're talking about, you know, a lot of ex-rugby league players now getting dementia at early ages. If they can come up with a cure for that, that is huge. I just think it's absolutely mind-blowing what Wollongong University is doing down there. For them to come on board with you guys, I think it makes a perfect match. So I just think it's amazing. For me, I still pinch myself to knowing that I've got the opportunity to be involved with you guys, but now that knowing that the Wollongong are involved as well.
Dragging the Wollongong with the SSMRF and putting them together and seeing them being able to work together as well too.
It ticks 2 million boxes, so I think it's awesome.
Exactly right. We've got our walk coming up on the 2nd of November. We've changed it slightly. We're leaving from the Shire and we're leaving from Wollongong and meeting at Helensburgh. Tradies are good enough to put on breakfast and everything with us, and then going over to Otford to walk. You're walking this year.
Yeah,
You've
absolutely.
always done the ride. You introduced the ride and the motorbike ride, which has been very successful.
I'm actually so excited about it. I've never been able to do it. Usually it's in footy season and we're always preparing for off season, and now obviously no more off season. I'm feeling very fit, very healthy at the moment, which is really good. Nick and Sam always talk about this walk and how much they love it. So I couldn't think of anything better to do. I think it's going to be mind-blowing. It's something that I've always wanted to do outside anyway, to walk from Wollongong through the national park. I've heard so many great stories about it.
Oh, it's very beautiful.
I can't wait for it. I really can't. 2nd of November, it's going to be unreal.
Everything happens for a reason. So now where does that take you in your life? What do you now see where you want to go and where you want to take the next sort of steps?
This is the question I ask myself every day. I wake up every morning, I get into my routine, I start at 4:30 every morning, and I don't know where I'm going at the moment. I've been so goal-driven my whole life. To actually set up goals today, to understand where I'm going. I know what I love to do, but I don't really know what's next for me. I'm still searching for it. I know it's nearly 12 months out of the game now, and it's actually quite scary, but I've got a few things in mind, but I don't know if it's something that I love. I've got to be passionate about it. Rugby league was passion. I think what you guys are doing, giving back to the community, is a massive passion of mine. It's something that I want to do, something that I want to build. But again, I don't know which way to go. I'm real passionate about violence against women. I'm very disappointed that the white ribbon just folded, so that could be a different line that we could go down. But yeah, look, it's the $1 million question, Mad, to be honest. I wish I could answer you, but I'm definitely motivated to do something.
I think whichever way you go, Luke, you're such a leader. I think whether you're leading and helping people as in foundations or your health or your family, I don't think you will ever have to worry knowing that you will always do the right thing. And whichever way you step forward, life will take you on your journeys. And like we are doing the Michael Tynan Challenge to make sure we have a better tomorrow, and that no one else has to go through what we went through and what you had to go through, and Sonia. No one wants to go through that, because when you go through that, it takes a group of people that are not just you. It takes your family, it takes everyone around you. And it can be quite destructive when your health is not right, depending on what age you are, whether it's, you're young like you were, or you are older like my dad, who hadn't even retired yet, and it takes people's lives away from you. This is why we're doing this research. I find when we work with the doctors and the professors, they're brilliant at what they do. So to give them the money to do the research so no one else will have to go through it is the most important thing I think we can possibly do.
Absolutely.
So let's walk on the 2nd November together and raise money for medical research, which will go to the SSMRF and Wollongong University.
It's going to be an amazing walk too. I've heard so much about it. Get down there.